I have a spreadsheet, but all of the fields where I've been plugging things in, it's just messy. I exported that, uploaded it into Chat GPT, and I basically said, can you clean this in terms of formatting? And then it literally spits out another spreadsheet for you, which is all cleaned and beautiful. But you can also ask it to analyze the data as well. So looking at the subject lines that I've used and the open rates and the click rates, are you able to give me some trends that are working better with my audience? And I think it came up with things like when I use emojis in the subject line, I get less of an open rate, which is interesting because a lot of advice online would say that it sometimes can help your open rate, but it's always going to depend on your audience.
Welcome to Authentic AI for Entrepreneurs, the podcast that shows you how to leverage the power of AI technology without wasting your time or selling your soul. Let's embrace making AI work for you. Hey, my human friends, and welcome to the Authentic AI podcast. I'm your host, Kinsey, and today we are chatting with a gorgeous soul. Her name's Rosanna, Anna for short, and she is sharing a lot of really actionable, awesome tips that we can use with Chat GPT in our business. She actually shared something about spreadsheets, little hint there, that I did not realize, and it made me floored, seriously. Plus, she is dishing up a really fun way that she's been using ChatGPT in her personal life, which I was geeking out about as well. You know, this conversation is going to be nerdy, and I know you're going to love it as much as I do. So if you do enjoy this convo, don't forget to leave us 5 stars or a friendly review on whatever podcast platform you're listening to us on, because it really does help us to continue spreading our Authentic AI message and just building our Authentic AI community. All right, let's go ahead and dive right in. Hi, Anna. Thank you so much for coming on Authentic AI for Entrepreneurs. I'm so excited to have you on the show.
Yay. Thank you so much for having me. I am so excited about this conversation because I love geeking out about AI.
Oh my goodness. Yes, I know. I'm squirming and messy over here, guys. I can't wait to nerd out about this stuff with you. Can you please just share with us, who are you? What do you do? Tell us all the things about yourself.
Yeah, sure. My name's Anna, which is my full name is Rosanna, and my business name is By Rosanna, but people call me Anna. That's my shortened version. And I've been a Squarespace website designer for just over 8 years now. Nowadays, mostly what I do is, as well as working with clients, I also help other website designers to promote their businesses using content marketing. And I have courses and programs that help them do that. So yeah, about me.
Oh, that's going to be so great to discuss, especially from the AI angle. But I do like to kick off these conversations by asking you, how did you start dipping your toes into the world of using AI tools?
Sure. So I think I first heard about Chat GPT coming out, as I'm sure most people did, around the beginning of 2020. I know it did come out and was launched to the public a little bit before that, but I started playing around with it then because of my courses and the programs and things that I do largely around content marketing. Obviously, when ChatGPT came out, everyone was like, you can use this for content marketing and you can use it to write all of your blog posts and everything like that. So I do remember when it very first came out, I was trying it out to write blog posts, trying it out to write all my content. And I just remember thinking, oh my God, this is going to take over the world. Who's going to need to have any jobs in marketing anymore? Who's going to need to have any jobs in copywriting or website design? Because there's AI tools as well that help create so much that AI can do. And I remember having a meltdown for about 3 days, just thinking, oh my gosh, the whole world is going to change, as I'm sure so many people also did. It took me probably a good few days of playing around with things, really understanding how everything worked and making sure that I was thinking about how this could fit into my business and what opportunities it could make for my business and for my life as well, rather than trying to think so far ahead and being like, oh my gosh, all of our job roles are going to go, because that's just not true. The technological advances happen all the time and people adapt. So I think that's where I'm at now. And I have been for the last kind of 6 months. I've been really embracing AI, particularly ChatGPT is one of my faves. With the new 4.0 come out recently. I'm really excited about where that's moving. At the moment, my main focus with AI is how can I bring it in to my business, both as a website designer and on the content, the marketing side and the branding side of things. I feel more excited about it now than I did to start with, but I'm sure a lot of people can relate on that front.
Totally. I definitely went through that myself. Can you please share a few of the cool ways you've been using ChatGPT, especially in your business right now? I know you mentioned you love it for ideal client research. So what does that look like for you?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think I first started using it mainly as a content creation-y or ideation tool, which I still do use it for a lot, helping me to outline content, come up with content ideas for various platforms, read content as well is a big one, which I love using it for. But also like weird little technical things. So as a website designer, using it to sometimes help me fix code problems when I'm working on Squarespace code and something isn't working, I can't get my head around it. Sometimes I plug it into Chat GPT and it's really useful for that. Also things like cleaning data in spreadsheets. That's such a random one, but recently with Chat GPT, we've been given the ability to up spreadsheets and data sources and stuff. And if you've got a spreadsheet that's really messy, you can ask Chat GPT to clean that data up, which is great, or analyze it. So little technical things like that. But yeah, also I think my favorite thing, as you mentioned, is definitely around branding, messaging, doing research into your ideal customers and coming up with like pain points and their desires and stuff like that, and really using it as almost like a focus group. Because I think I was listening to your episode with Amber from The Boutique Lawyer. I was listening to that episode a couple of days ago, and I know she mentioned about focus groups can cost thousands and thousands of pounds. Getting that information about your clients is something that would have taken us a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of money previously. Whereas now it's almost like you can use ChatGPT as your focus group subjects, which is, probably my favorite way of using it at the moment. And also creating custom that help me to do that is something that I'm looking at the moment. I don't know if you've been working much with custom GPTs yourself.
Yeah. Okay. So many things to dive into, and we definitely want to come back around to the custom GPTs thing. Okay. I have to firstly just backtrack a little bit and ask you what the data cleanup looks like when it comes to uploading spreadsheets or CSV files and stuff. What kind of data cleanup are we talking about here?
So I have a spreadsheet that I have been keeping for the last 2 years where I've been putting in kind of information about my email marketing. I'll put in the subject line that I used. I'll then put in the click rate and the open rates and everything like that. I will manually plug that in. I do have an email marketing software that shows me the analytics, but I just wanted to collect this data so that I could do something with it. And I've been doing that for 2 years, even before this, just because I thought at some point this is going to be useful. So I've been keeping a spreadsheet of that, but all of the kind of fields where I've been plugging things in, like the fields where I've been putting in the click rates, sometimes they're marked down as a percentage, sometimes they're not. It's just messy, and the way things are formatted are messy. So what I did was I exported that, uploaded it into ChatGPT, and I basically said, can you clean this in terms of the formatting? And then it literally spits out another spreadsheet for you, which is all cleaned and beautiful, which is amazing. But you can also ask it to analyze the data as well. So once it had cleaned the data for me, I was like looking at the subject lines that I've used, looking at the preview text that I've used and the open rates and the click rates. Are you able to give me some trends of things that are working better with my audience, things that aren't working with so well? And I think it came up with things like the fact that when I use emojis in the subject line, I get less of an open rate, which is interesting because I think a lot of advice online would say that it sometimes can help your open rate, but it's always going to depend on your audience. So stuff like that, it just sounds so nerdy, but that's the type of thing that you can really get very detailed with ChatGPT, which I just love.
Oh, I'm so glad that you shared that. So I have a few follow-up questions here because I would love to be better at spreadsheets, but I myself, I feel like I'm unorganized. I feel like I also would love to know more about, the spreadsheet formatting stuff. And it's kind of like its own code language, like within the cells and stuff. When you have ChatGPT generate a new cleaned up spreadsheet for you and stuff, what does that look like? Are you using any sort of custom GPT to actually have it generate like a file, or can it format it within cells? Or I don't know.
It literally gives you a file. So the original spreadsheet was on Google Sheets. So I exported that as a CSV file, uploaded that into Chat GPT. And when I told it to clean it, it gives you back a file that you download, which is a CSV, which you could then upload again into Google Sheets. But yeah, no, that didn't require any kind of custom GPT or anything. That's just purely on Chat GPT.
Have you been wanting to add AI tools to your business, but you're feeling overwhelmed by all the options? I feel you. There are so many AI tools out there, it's hard to know which ones work well and which ones will work for you. That's why I'm excited to introduce our new free resource, the Authentic AI Tech Toolkit. This is our thoughtfully curated library of tried and tested AI tools that are specifically recommended for solopreneurs like you. From everyday business tasks like organizing and automating to content creation, video editing, copywriting, and more, our Authentic AI Tech Toolkit is dishing up recommendations for tools that our community has been loving to use in their business and lives. Gain access for free right now at diywith.ai/toolkit and go find those AI tools that will be super helpful for you and your business. Ready to find AI tools that are perfect for you and start making your tasks and to-dos a little easier? Simply head to diywith.ai/toolkit to sign up for free right now.
Which is great. Love it.
Oh, shoot. You are blowing my mind, lady. You know, I feel like I'm in the AI world, but there's always new stuff to learn and things that you learn every day. So interesting. I didn't know it could actually spit back its own file. Yeah. Oh man, that's something I'm going to play around with after this.
And also, because I'm the same as you, I'm not a spreadsheets girl. I use Trello for everything. I'm not like a Google Sheets person generally, other than trying to track things. But I also wish I could be better at it. But I don't know about like formulas and stuff. But again, I use Chat GPT to help me. So I'm just like, oh, I've got a Google Sheet where I want it to do this and this. What's the formula that I need? And I literally did that the other day and it gave me the formula. And now I'm learning spreadsheets.
Totally. Oh man, I know. I love using it for that sort of stuff too. And that's why I was asking you about the format it was throwing it back in a way. Cause I was like, I know it can do like a table format within the chat itself, but I wasn't sure about, the underlying formatting. And if it is a CSV file, then that totally makes sense.
I haven't tested it in terms of, so if you had a spreadsheet which had like formulas going on and then you uploaded that to Chat GPT, I don't know if it would give you a spreadsheet back that still has the formulas in. I haven't tested that, but it does give you a spreadsheet file.
Okay.
Yeah, just a caveat.
Okay, cool. Thank you for sharing that. So let's talk a little bit more about ideal customer research and how you're using that for clients, because that is one of my favorite ways for sure to get into our ideal customers' heads and really like understand who they are, their pain points, their desires, all the different stuff. Is there any tips that you have to share with us when it comes to using ChatGPT for that?
Yeah, for sure. One of my favorite things, and this is really helpful for your content. It's helpful for putting stuff on your website, like key messages that you really just want to get across to your ideal client. And that is like really going in depth into their current desires, their current pain points, and coming up with some like messaging angles based on that. So you might know, oh, my ideal client is a female website designer between this age. They've been running their business for a couple of years. And that's usually like where people stop. Maybe you'll go into their lifestyle a little bit, their background, maybe a couple of things about what they're interested in. But how do you get from that to then writing copy on your website that really stands out to people, or like creating an Instagram post that's really like attention grabbing for people? And that's where I like to put into ChatGPT. I'll put in all the information that I have, obviously, about myself, the typical context that you want to give ChatGPT, like your tone of voice, who you are as a business, all of that information that you already have about your target client. And then you're basically asking it, I've just got it in front of me here so that I can tell you what I typically do. And that's asking it to come up with a table, because again, I love tables. I love data displayed in that kind of way. Come up with a table that's got angles around where your client currently is, so their current situation, where they really want to be, and then asking it to also tell you what mistakes they're currently making and the problems they're currently having with that, and then how you can fix it. I love to see that in a table because you can then ask it it to come up with lots of those things. I was basically doing some ideal client research for Squarespace website designers, because that's my ideal clients for some of my marketing courses. Some of the stuff that came up with was that currently the ideal client that I'm talking to, their current reality, what that looks like, the current things that they're struggling with might be struggling to find consistent client work, balancing family and work life as well, feeling overwhelmed by marketing and business admin stuff. So those are all things that it's given me about their current reality, current struggles they're having issues with. And then in terms of the desires in the column next to that, it's saying things like people would want to be regularly booked with ideal clients. They aspire for a flexible schedule that allows quality time for their family. This is all like word for word what Chat GPT has said, which is really nice, I think, because I can really feel that my ideal client will probably use that language as well. Or like they want to feel confident in handling their marketing or all of aspects of business. But then the mistakes they're making is maybe they're undercharging or they need help with their marketing skills, things like that. And all of these things, when you piece them together, can really help you to come up with great copy for your website. You could even ask ChatGPT, okay, now that you've given me all of those things, could you come up with some really compelling headline copy for a website? Or could you help me to come up with a really good hook for a reel on Instagram, things like that. So I really find that side of things helpful in terms of the angles and the things that are really going to grab my ideal clients. And then in terms of like the research, again, just brainstorming with ChatGPT. So, okay, I think my ideal client is this type of person. Are there any people that I'm missing in this, or brainstorming in that kind of a way as well? So I feel like I was rambling at you there, but I find it really useful to share the examples of what it's actually giving me as well, because I think that's really powerful.
Yeah, no, you were not rambling. I'm just eating up all your knowledge, lady. And exactly, ideal customer research is so amazing to really have this understanding of your client on that deeper level. And it's one of those foundational elements that you need to know in order to have your messaging happen all across all the places for your brand, right? Your website, your content, your offers, the way you're crafting them. So that's like really, really important for you to understand yourself. On the other side of that, it's really awesome to have this information to then train your future chat windows as well when you're creating content with ChatGPT itself. Like, this is stuff that it's important for ChatGPT to understand and realize the strategy behind in order to help you along in the process. But whether that's yourself or your assistants creating content for you or anything, I actually created this. It's actually a part of one of my larger courses called Content Made Easy with ChatGPT, but I think I'm going to turn it into its own mini course or side course, the brand blueprint. Nice. And it's this one document with like your brand strategy, your ideal customer strategy, your brand voice, your offers, everything about your brand aligned like within one. And then the file upload makes it so easy to just like upload that train and chat window on your brand kind of thing. One other thing I wanted to point out too is that this is especially helpful for people like you, brand designers, website designers, content creators, or social media managers who not only need to understand your own client, but also understand your clients' clients or customers, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's one of the things that I'm trying to develop and get my head around at the moment, because I know that it's one of the things that my website design clients struggle with a lot is copy and coming up with the text to go on the website. And I'm trying to think about ways that I can make that easier for them, whether that is creating some kind of a custom GPT that's going to help them come up with some of these angles that we could use on headlines and stuff, or even things like imagery as well. I know we haven't really touched on that, but there's so much opportunity, I think, to help our clients have the whole process feel a lot easier with these AI tools, whether that is messaging, copy, images. So yeah, definitely not just helpful for me, but yeah, I'm so excited to be looking at ways this can help my clients and help me understand them better, as you say, too.
Oh, okay. I really want for people of all industries to take this idea and run with it. I'm just going to throw it out there. But exactly, like, I think that creating a custom GPT for your clients, firstly, it could just be a helpful resource that you could offer in general, or a bonus that you could add on to your packages, or it could even be an upsell for some of us to create these custom GPTs for our clients. And exactly, it's one of those things where when you bring your own expertise to these tools and you can work with them and figure out how you can work with them and your own expertise to then offer something helpful more to your clients, that's so awesome. Because could your clients go and create their own custom GPTs for themselves? Sure. Are they going to take a lot of time? Is it going to be as good? Probably not as like your custom GPT as a branding expert yourself. I love that, lady. Let's go ahead and talk about custom GPTs. So like, how have you started playing around with them? I know you said you're just starting to dabble in them.
Yeah, I've been playing around with them a little bit, not too much, because I think it just takes a lot of time and I've got client work to do, but I want to create this for them. So I feel like I need to prioritize it. But I've tried 2 different tools. I've tried the Chat GPT custom G creator, which has been really good. And I've also tried a tool called Pickaxe as well. I don't know if you're familiar with that or have used it. Essentially, it's a custom GPT creator, but the difference is that you can embed it into websites or into courses and programs and things like that. So that's quite a good tool as well. And it's really interesting testing 2 different tools with the exact same prompts when you're creating these GPT, because they come up with totally different things. It's interesting to try that, but also makes it a bit of a minefield. So then I get bogged down and don't ever finish anything. But I have been testing it because I do really want to come up with a simple way that clients could plug in information about their business and it helps come up with some copy, because I'm all about working with amazing copywriters to help get your copy done. But a lot of the time I find myself working with solo business owners. They're just starting their business. A lot of them don't always have the resources to bring in a copywriter yet. I think it can be a really good starting point to create a resource like this. I love custom GPTs. I love the idea of it. I just need to find the time to create more. Rather than playing around with AI myself, when you're creating something that you want to give as a resource to someone else, and with the unpredictabilities of Chat GPT, it's really hard to feel comfortable putting that out into the world without testing it a million times and making sure that the responses it's giving are representative of what you want to put out there as well. So I think that's where the time consuming part comes into. I don't know if you've found the same thing.
Totally, lady. Thank you for sharing that. I love hearing about other tools, new tools that people recommend, because we actually have our Authentic AI toolkit. So it's literally like a library in Notion I created where I'm just throwing every suggested tool in there, because I'm like, I can't remember all these. So I'll have to go look at Pickaxe, because that sounds so interesting to me, the ability to like embed. But you're exactly right. To answer kind of your question before, it is so crazy how different the answers can be, firstly, between the different models and tools, right? Gemini is not going to give you the same answer as ChatGPT. And lately, I've really been, because with ChatGPT's new updated interface or whatever, it really makes it easy to switch between ChatGPT 4.0 and ChatGPT Turbo, like just within, there's a little button now within the response actually at the bottom there. But yeah, like even the difference between ChatGPT 4.0's answer or so ChatGPT different. Turbo's answer. And also, I can't tell you which one is my favorite. Like sometimes ChatGPT 4 Turbo responds better. Sometimes the 4.0 responds better in a way. And then even if you are using that same model, it's never going to give you the same response, the exact same response. It also has, I swear, these tools have like hormonal days or something.
Bad memories.
I think it's one of those things, if anyone's interested in becoming a teacher of these tools and or just helping their clients with these tools, I've really had to have a reckoning with myself when it comes to, I will try my best to create the best prompts for you. This happened in my Content Made Easy course, and I did so much testing every freaking week. And these are prompts that I've been using myself for like the whole last year, but also I'm just like testing different avatars for different industries and brands to just make sure that these are as good as possible. And it still doesn't give you exactly what you want all the time. So I think it's accepting that that's going to happen, and that's okay. Also, maybe educating the people that you're sharing these prompts or tools or GPTs with, saying like these tools have a mind of their own, you know, so just be aware of that. And I also have found it just so helpful to help people understand how to work with these these tools better and prompt better, because I've accepted I can't just give you like a cookie cutter prompt. Even if it is a really detailed prompt, even if it's awesome, it's still going to struggle sometimes. And so really just helping people understand, like, if this happens, here's what you can do, or here's how you can revise a piece of copy with the tool. Different things like that have been really helpful for me.
Yeah, that's really useful, actually. I think that's something that we definitely need to include in the education around it, and letting people know this isn't always going to be perfect, but the whole point of these tools is they learn, and you have to treat it like a chat. I think even I'm guilty of going in and being like, here's my prompt. Oh no, the result isn't what I want. And then I'll just move on, and rather than actually treating it like a conversation, which it is. So yeah, it's a helpful reminder for everyone, I think, including myself.
Oh, lady. Okay. One more question before we wrap up and stuff. But I know you said you've been using Chat GPT in your personal life as well. Can you share with us a little bit about that?
Yeah. So it's kind of like a fun fact that I'm sharing with people at the moment, because I think it's a little bit different than what some people are using it for. But yeah, I've loved using Chat GPT for different things in my life. And one of the things that has been really helpful is for our wedding, which is coming up at the end of this year. It's at the end of November, and we're actually having a Great Gatsby-themed wedding. I was basically looking for help and ideas for things like decor and games that I could play. One thing that I always like to put into ChatGPT is, can you come up with something that's out of the box, or something that's unique, or try to avoid cliches and stuff? And I'm always trying to prod it to not just give me the boring stuff. I've been asking it about 1920s decor. It's come up with some amazing game ideas as well. So I'm going to be doing a bit of a mystery treasure hunt during the day. And it's basically come up with all of the riddles and things that I would need to write down, because I don't know, I can't come up with that stuff myself. That would take me ages. It's come up with loads of riddles to help with this treasure hunt idea. Also, because it is Great Gatsby and 1920s themed, I really wanted the wedding invites to be on theme as well. And we've done it as a style of a 1920s newspaper. And I basically got ChatGPT to write it in a 1920s themed voice. So yeah, that's kind of a fun thing that you should definitely use it for if you're throwing parties or anything like that. So yeah, love it.
I love this so much. And I was sharing before we hit record, I had to plan our wedding almost 2 years ago now, 1.5 years ago now. And I was like, oh, it would have been so nice, because yeah, I like created this like crossword puzzle for our stuff. And it like took me 3 hours to try to make it all fit. Oh, I love this. I also feel like we are such aligned souls. Our wedding was, I ended up calling it Haunted Victorian Garden Party.
Ooh, that's so cool.
But so smart. So cool. And exactly, guys, it doesn't have to be a wedding. It can be like parties or just like events. And like, how can you help make this an experience, which is so fun, but also, yeah, either like hard to come up with ideas or time consuming. I love that like you're having it write the copy in like the old
Why not?
So smart, lady. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. I love this conversation. Same. I've had so many little takeaway nuggets that I didn't even realize. Can you please tell everyone how they can connect with you and find all your things? Because I know they'll want to.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you so much. This has been so much fun. I love nerding out about this stuff. So yeah, if you want to come and hang out with me, I'm on Instagram. It's @by Rosanna, because I couldn't get the full by Rosanna name without the dot in the middle. But on TikTok, I'm also on there sharing website marketing, AI stuff as well. And that is @by Rosanna. And my website is byrosanna.co.uk. I've got obviously my website design services on there, and also my courses for website designers as well. So yeah, come and have a chat and nerd out about AI some more.
Great. Thank you so much. How great was Rosanna, you guys? I loved just chatting. She was so wonderful and shared so many actionable tips. So if you loved this episode as much as I did, don't forget to share it with a business buddy who could also use to listen to it. And also, why not share it to your Instagram stories while you're at it? Make sure that you tag me. I'm @Authentic AI for entrepreneurs, because I would love to reshare it and give you a follow and just continue spreading you some love over there. All right. I hope you have a great rest of your week, and I'll catch you next time I catch you. Thank you so much for tuning in to Authentic AI for Entrepreneurs, my friend. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your shows.